Hello everyone, welcome back to WHU TV. It's nice to see you, I hope you're keeping well. This is the preview of West Ham's fourth home game of the 23-24 Premier League season, where we welcome Newcastle to the London Stadium for a 2 o'clock kickoff this Sunday afternoon, not live on any UK TV channel. As always guys, this video is sponsored by the channel sponsor 3retro.com. Please click the link in the description below that will take you directly through to the West Ham section of their website, but as you can see from the animation that's up here, there's also retro gear for Newcastle fans as well, for that matter, along with track jackets, polo shirts, sweatshirts and t-shirts made by Admiral, Umbro and Bucker as well. So go guys, go grab yourself a very nice retro shirt. In comparison to your club shop, you'll be saving yourself a few quid, and you'll be helping those with that are less fortunate than you and I to put food on their tables, because any purchases you make through the link in the description below, the commission that the channel would normally be getting, I'll be sending directly on to the charity Iron Supporting Food Banks. They're based in the Newham area, and they're helping those in the Newham area and the Essex County and further afield for that matter, to help, as I say, to help put food on the table for those that have been really struggling over the last 3 to 4 years, or 4 to 5 years now really. But so yeah, go grab yourself a very nice retro shirt and you'll be helping those that are less fortunate than you and I. So as always guys, there's going to be timestamps in the description, so you'll see a little bar going along here as to certain sections of the video. It'd be nice if you can stick around us to the end of it, of course, but if you haven't got that time, I mean you do, but if you don't, there's you can jump around at any point on there. But as always guys, let's start off by talking about the officials. Now the referee for this game is Peter Banks, his assistant is Eddie Smarts and Nick Greenhalgh. Now Nick Greenhalgh was the assistant for our away game against Liverpool and also the away game against Lincoln in the Cup as well. The fourth official is Michael Salisbury. On VAR, we have Andy Madley, who was the referee of the Man City game, and the assistant there for VAR is Simon Long. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag in terms of that. Now, in terms of Newcastle themselves, as you guys know, for those who have been watching the channel for a little while, I've got a big affinity with Newcastle, and a lot of Newcastle fans have a big affinity with West Ham as well. Relatively same backgrounds, you know, very, very heavily working class club, very screwed over for a long time up until recently for both clubs as well, for that matter. A lot of Geordies I've met over the years like West Ham, and a lot of people that I know that are West Ham supporters like Newcastle as well for the same reasons. At the end of the day, guys, you know, we're very similar backgrounds, very similar supporter base as a result. Now, our last 6 home games against Newcastle in the Premier League, 1-1, drawn 1 and lost 4. Now, as we remember, the last one, obviously, the last home game was where we lost that 5-1, if I remember correctly. Now, the fact that a couple of players, including Callum Wilson, which I'll come on to in a little bit, did mention that the game plan was to go at Nathan Gued because they knew he would make mistakes. And that kind of hints at the starting 11 that we're going to be seeing. Now, but David Moyes' home record, we've won 6, drawn 4 and lost 4 as well with him. So, well, across his entire Premier League career, I should say. Now, Newcastle are 8th in the table, a point behind us on 12 points, winning 4 games, losing 3 and drawing none, scoring 18 goals and conceding 11. So you could argue this is properly a proper 6-pointer from that point of view. You know, Eddie Howe prefers a formation which is basically an attacking 4-3-3, as we know. He's a very, very good manager. Newcastle played PSG on Wednesday, which I watched the game. It was very, very entertaining. They absolutely beat PSG 4-1. They are useless, PSG, at the minute. They were absolutely terrible in terms of how we know what they can do over the last few seasons. Now, on the road so far in the Premier League, Newcastle have won 1 and lost twice. So I'm hoping we can make that 3 losses. Now, their style of play is very much attacking through the middle, short passes, and they like to provoke opponents to play very aggressively against them. They are very strong at creating chances through individual skill, and strong at creating chances using through balls, creating and finishing scoring chances, attacking and defending set pieces, but they are weak at defending against counter-attacks and against long shots. Now, we like to sit back and absorb the pressure and go hit them on the break, on the counter-attack with that side of things, and we haven't done long shots for a long while, but I do think we should be doing that as well, and not just for that reason, but for a reason I'll come on to for about a few players in a minute as well. Now, their highest goal scorer on the road so far is, no surprise, Callum Wilson, Antonio's mate, but he is going to be having a late fitness test, as he is 25% chance of returning from a thigh injury as of the time of this recording, and their highest assister on the road is Kieran Trippier with 3 assists for 3 goals. Now, players to look out for. I've kind of updated it a little bit. If anybody watched the Freiburg preview that I did, I changed the players to look out for because I'm going into strengths and weaknesses for certain players. Nick Pope, for example, which is one of the reasons why he's been called back into the England squad again, is he's strong at saving close range shots. His concentration is immaculate, and his shot stopping reflexes are very, very good as well, and also his penalties and saving long shots. But he is weak at long balls and very weak at discipline as well. So he does see red a little time. So we've got to watch out about his long balls because I think we can really, really intercept them. Isaac is strong at aerial duels, dribbling and header attempts, but he is weak at crossing. So if we can get him into a crossing and hit him on the counter-attack as a result of that, I think it'd be very, very handy. Guimaraes is strong at through balls, dribbling, passing and tackling and concentration. Doesn't really have any weaknesses, so is one player we really, really need to keep an eye on. Shah is strong at aerial duels and concentration, but he is weak at passing as well, for that matter. So again, I think we can hit some. We can force him to make some errors with his passing. Lascelles' style of play is very much he likes to clear the ball out of the area, and he is strong at aerial duels and blocking the ball, but he is weak at passing and tackling and very weak at concentration. So I think we can exploit that as well. Murphy likes to cross, should he play, playing the ball off the ground often, and he is very strong at tackling, but he is weak at holding onto the ball, aerial duels, passing, discipline, and his concentration again. So as is Gordon, but he's going to be suspended, as we'll talk about in a second. But now looking at Newcastle injuries, again, at the time of this recording, Harvey Barnes is being assessed, but looks like he's going to be out until at least around about January due to an under-toe injury, which is a bit weird one. Joe Willock is out for an extra couple of weeks as well due to an ACL injury, which is also being assessed. Botman is out for a knee injury. Joe Linton has 25% chance of returning, as is Callum Wilson. Both of them are due to thigh injuries. There's a good chance we might not see Callum Wilson. I'm hoping we don't, because he's a real thorn in this side. We may see him on the bench, so we've got to keep an eye out for that. And as we talked about in the Freiburg watch along with last night, Anthony Gordon is serving what appears to be a one-game suspension, so he misses this game as well. So, which is a real shame, because Anthony Gordon is as fantastic as he is. He does have some concentration weaknesses as well, for that matter. So, turning to West Ham, guys, Antonio is 50-50 for this game due to an abductor injury, which David Moyes mentioned about in the pre-match conference for the Freiburg game. Aaron Creswell is still 25% chance of being out, or 25% chance of returning, I should say, 75% chance of not being able to return due to his hamstring injury. Johnson is also 25% out as well, for that matter, due to a tight groin strain. So, but the good news is, for those that were watching last night's game, again, we have made history. We are the first English team to go unbeaten, which is 17 games now, if I remember correctly, unbeaten in Europe since Don Revie's Leeds. That is so good. It's as Carlton Cole said during when that was talked about after the game yesterday. It's unheard of for West Ham to go that length of time, especially a club like us. It's brilliant. I love the fact that we are pushing on that hard. It's brilliant. There's so many good things to come. I just really hope we can keep the momentum going. Now, as I've hinted at earlier, let's talk about the starting 11. I've made some changes, as I say. I've got a funny feeling that the tactics are going to be pointing at Aguerd again, so I've dropped him. I mean, I've dropped him for the last few weeks anyway, to be fair, but I've definitely dropped him this time round for the starting 11. So as always, guys, put your comments in the comments section below. Let me know what you're thinking on what you would do if you were in charge of West Ham for the starting 11, and this is what I would do in terms of that. This is the starting 11 that I hope and pray we will see. We might see 80 to 90% of this, but I hope this is the starting 11 that we will see against Newcastle. Areola in goal, with a back four of Soufal, Zuma, Mavropanos and Emerson. Alvarez and Ward-Prowse in the defensive midfield positions, with Kudus, Paquetá and Cornet in midfield, supporting Bowen up front. So thank you very much for your time, guys. As always, as I say, put your comments in the comment section below. Please do like, share and subscribe. We are one subscriber away from was it 3,410. So click the 2,410. I wish it was 3,410, but yeah. Click that subscribe button. Make sure you set your notifications to all. We will be doing, as usual, on Sunday night, there will be the full-time thoughts video as well, for that matter, for the game. And hopefully next week, we should, over the international break, we'll have some content coming up. Hopefully get a couple of guests on. Hopefully Russ is going to be able to do a content for us again, because obviously we've got Arsenal in the League Cup. And possibly a watch-along for the England game against Italy. Not 100% sure yet, timing dependent. But in the meantime, guys, look after yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your week, or weekend, I should say. And I hope to see you very, very soon. All the best now. Take care.